From the North Pole in a satellite studio set up within the Reindeer Hay Barn of Santa's Workshop's North Pole Complex, broadcasting north from McMurdo Sound to here, east and west across all time zones to our members throughout the world, this is our special Christmas Eve edition of Badger and Blade Radio. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be on this special Christmas Eve. We hope that everybody's all ready for Santa to bring all the good gears and everything else, and we certainly appreciate you spending your Christmas Eve with us. Some of the things on the show tonight, we've got news and events around badgerandblade.com. We've got some special guest interviews that we think you'll like. We also have the mail call section, as we normally do, and we also have a special reading of the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, Badger and Blade style. So all this and much, much more, and we'd like to wish everyone in B&B Land, all our members, we'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Festivus. So we'll get started with the show, and we'll be right back.
Here's a wonderful new idea for Christmas fun. Now you can turn your home into a window wonderland with the magic of glass wax and a set of these easy-to-use cut-out stencils for glass wax. Why, it's so easy a child can do it. Just pour regular glass wax into a dish, dip in a sponge, and simply dab over one of the stencil designs. Put a jolly Santa like this on your windows in a matter of seconds. Or Christmas trees, wreaths, Santa and his reindeer, all the lovely signs of Christmas that will make your home a window wonderland. All through the magic of glass wax and a set of these cut-out stencils for glass wax. Buy your set of Christmas stencils wherever you buy regular glass wax. Beautiful holiday designs to help make a window wonderland at your home this Christmas.
Welcome back to the show, everybody, and some news and events around badgerandblade.com this holiday weekend. First off, we'd like to welcome all the new members to badgerandblade.com, and don't forget to head on over to the Shave Clinic and Newbie Check-In, and then also over to the Hall of Fame, so you can introduce yourself, and we can get to know you a little bit better, and you can get to know us. Plenty of help out there for everyone who comes and joins us. Also, if you thought about becoming a contributor, at the top of the main forum page, you will see a ellipsis button that says Contribute. Some of the things going on over in the contributor forum is we ask you how your day was. It's a way for you to vent, kind of tell us how your day went, and some of that camaraderie that goes along with it. Don't forget to check out the Safety Razor forum. Also, Chad over in the Soaps forum is starting his signups for the January theme month, so please check out that. Also, Dustin and the boys over in the mess hall are coming up with some new ideas for the cookouts that will work in a PIF, which is a pay it forward, as well. Also, in the haberdashery, our annual ugly sweater contest for Christmas is going on as we speak. You still got a little bit of time because the contest will run through the 25th, and there will be a separate thread on how to vote for your favorite. Also, over in the Great Outdoors section, the Vez 2 has set up a really nice section where you can check out everybody's Christmas lights. So if you haven't taken a picture of your Christmas lights, but you'd like everybody to see them, please do so in the Great Outdoor Forum. Also, it might be a little bit late to do so, but if you have somebody on that list that you forgot to buy for, don't forget to check out the Buy, Sell, Trade and the vendor forums as well. The vendors spend a lot of time supporting Badger and Blade, and we'd like to return the favor as well. Over in the Shave of the Day section, it has been the holiday theme week, so check out some of the fantastic photos that our Shave of the Day devotees like to put up for their shaves each and every day. Also, voting is now going on for the Darkroom December photo contest, which was Illumination. So please head on over to the Darkroom, look for the December contest, and they will take care of you on that. Also, we've got some new assignments and some new stewards we'd like to tell you about, so you can go by and say hi. Real Pretend Psychic, David, is now the steward in the clubhouse. Sir Change-A-Lot Anders now is going to be in the Shave Clinic and Newbie Check-In. Ticklaba Christian will be donning the purple in the haberdashery. And Dustin, our old friend, Shave Rat, will now be in the mess hall. We'd also like to congratulate Marco moving from the Shave Clinic and Newbie Check-In over to the hair care and body section. So please check out those forums. say hi to the new stewards or even the old stewards that you may already know. We would certainly appreciate it. And you know it, you love it, you've been waiting for it. Yes, that's right, folks. The 2017 Badger and Blade Bingo is getting ready to get started. This month, or actually in January, it will be starting in the Safety Razor Blades Forum. Keen Dog, one of the stewards in the DE section, will be calling the game. So please keep an eye out that for any video teasers and how to sign up for that in early January. Well, that wraps up all the news and events around BadgerandBlade.com. After the next break, we'll continue all the fun of our special Christmas Eve section. We'll be right back.
One Christmas Eve, long ago, Santa found me in the snow. Santa named me Mr. Bingle when I sang my joyful jingle. I love children, they love me, I'm as happy as can be. Santa's helper and every year I come with him to bring good cheer. I help him with his sleigh of toys for all the world's good girls and boys. Merry Christmas and see you soon.
Welcome back to our very special Christmas Eve edition of Badger and Blade Radio, and we're very excited to have a special guest with us tonight, and that is Mr. Bingle. Mr. Bingle, how are you today?
Hey, Dave, how are you?
Fantastic. We certainly appreciate it because we know that Christmas Eve is probably one of your busiest times helping Santa out. And how does it feel to have been working for Santa Claus for all these years since 1948?
Well, it really doesn't feel that long. Every year is a new adventure, and we've got new kids and grown-ups to take care of, so the years just seem to fly by.
Now, I know originally you're from New Orleans, and so was it hard transitioning from that wonderful weather down there to the frigid cold weather of the North Pole?
Well, as you know, I'm a snowman with an ice cream cone hat, so the New Orleans weather really didn't do much for my complexion.
So in other words, you were a lot like Frosty.
You got it. That cold weather is what I live for.
Well, that's awesome. Now, how do you think that this year's version, the 2016 version of Reindeer and Sleigh on Badger and Blade went, and how did Mr. Bingle get involved with Badger and Blade?
Well, this year's going pretty well so far. Lots of pictures of presents under the tree. Lots of happy D&D members. I got started with Badger and Blade about 3 years ago when I saw that we needed a good, friendly gift exchange. And I'm glad that the moderators at Badger and Blade were able to let me work my magic and help everybody out.
Well, I know that the members really appreciate everything you do each and every year for them. And for those of you that did not get involved in the Reindeer and Sleigh this year, don't forget, right around November in that area, start looking for the Reindeer and Sleigh thread, and you can get involved in next year. Finally, Mr. Bingle, what would you like to say to all the good boys and girls here in B&B and all over the world with Christmas just one day away?
Well, Dave, I'd just like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Well, once again, Mr. Bingle, we certainly thank you for spending some time with us, especially on a busy night like Christmas Eve, and I'm sure all the boys and girls here on B&B will certainly appreciate it. And you be safe out there with Santa tonight.
Will do. Thanks, Dave.
Merry Christmas to you as well.
Merry Christmas.
Well, that was a fun interview, wasn't it, boys and girls of Badger and Blade? We certainly want to thank Mr. Bingle once again for spending time with us on Christmas Eve. We know how busy he is assisting Santa, getting all the gear out to all the good boys and girls of BadgerandBlade.com. When we get back, we'll have our special Christmas mail call, and once again, we thank you for joining us on our special Christmas Eve edition. Back after a flash.
For every kind of man, there's a gift from Palmolive. In this big selection, you'll find all his favorites, like Palmolive Rapid Shave, Aftershave Lotion, Brilliantine, Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream, all with a look of quality. Very masculine, very him, yet they cost very little. Be sure that every man on your list this Christmas receives a gift of Palmolive for men.
And we're back with our special Christmas Eve edition of Badger and Blade Radio, and certainly we'd like to thank each and every one of you for spending a little bit of time with us on your Christmas Eve. We hope by now that you're spending time with family and friends, have a roaring fire in the fireplace, and maybe partying like Fezziwig did in his office in London. Also, don't forget, you're going to want to get to bed a little bit early because Santa is in the air, and you want to make sure that you're asleep when he comes in and delivers all those good and fun shave goodies that you've been hoping for. And now for our mail call section. Basically, this month it is set up for our Christmas dedications, and right off the bat, Red Fan 75 Harold wants to wish a Merry Christmas to everyone at B&B. It is truly the best online community I've been a part of. Real friends and brothers, the suggestions, the camaraderie, the generosity, the offers to help, and to help you learn, and to everyone in the Straight Razor Forum who made the pass around possible as well as a success. Also from Adam Keendog, he just wants to give special thanks to all the members who made the site great. Happy holidays to everyone. From Alex2363, he wants to wish happy holiday season to all of our military active members. We're thinking about you and appreciate your service. We know that it's hard to not be with your families and protecting our freedoms, so thank you for everything you do. We have a question from Dangerous Dawn. Dear Santa, the world is a very large place with billions of people. It's likely that 10% of this population are traditional shavers. Each wet shaver is unique and probably wishes for the hard-to-find soaps, very rare soaps, aftershaves, razors, or brushes. How are you able to find all of those scarce items for the well-behaved wet shavers out there? Well, Don, when I first saw your question, I had to call into the North Pole, and Santa called me back, and he said basically what he does is early on in the year, he starts looking at our vendor section on badgerandblade.com, and if he can't find it there with all of our wonderful vendors, he has a special liaison called the Shave Elf. This Shave Elf will search the internet high and low to find all the rare items. So when you get up tomorrow morning and you see that package that you didn't recognize from the night before, maybe exactly what this is Santa and the Shave Elf brought you that rare item that you were hoping for. Also from Sir Change-A-Lot, he wants to wish, how about a Merry Christmas from the Green Steward? Now, first of all, Sir Change-A-Lot is not green. He is one of our brand new stewards, and he just wanted to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. Now, you've been also seeing some pictures coming up during our mail call section, and there's a few of us that have played around with what they call the elf on a shelf. And if you don't know what that phenomenon is, it's basically a felt tiny elf that came on the scene. I thought it was new, but actually it turns out that the elf on a shelf has been around for at least 60 years or 70 years that I know of, because I've got one that my parents had that my wife now hides on me and waits for me to find it, and you can see that in my journal section. But some of these pictures are some of the things that people do to the elf on the shelf. Now, we must say, as a disclaimer, that none of these elves were harmed in the making of these pictures, but you sure have a lot of fun. Also from Rock Viper, he put a picture up of a gift that a young niece and nephew got him a few years back, and basically, as you can see, it is a large candy cane without stripes, known as the Bah Humbug candy cane, a small Homer Simpson, and a Slytherin mug. So it's really wonderful to see what our young folks will give us in the spirit of Christmas. And finally tonight, from the mind of C.B. Lindsay, Chris, we all know him, we all love him, and we all love the wordsmithing that he has. Today, we took our 7-year-old daughter to get pictures with Santa. As is usually the case in my world, it wasn't the normal kind of event. First off, it's important to know that my little one is very smart, but she still believes in the magic of Santa. She still remembers fondly the visit to see Santa last year at the local Tilted Kilt. I will admit Santa was phenomenal, and they allowed each child to make crafts and cookies on the patio. The elves were kilt girls and were quite attentive to my daughter. The whole experience was quite magical for my daughter as well. Although, as you can imagine, a visit to the Tilted Kilt isn't the ideal place to visit Santa, but it really was a great event. Sadly, they did not offer a similar event this year, so we had to look long and hard for a place we could deliver gifts and get a nice Santa photo. After searching Facebook, my wife found a place complete with a Santa and an opportunity for my daughter to hand deliver her gifts. There was a catch. This was a semi-private party whose attendees were asked to bring a side dish and stick around to enjoy a buffet. Oh yeah, one more thing. This place is a cowboy biker bar called the Cadillac Ranch. A quick email last night to confirm whether kids were allowed to be revealed that no kids were allowed in the bar, but they would arrange for Santa's elves to come out for special pictures. That worked for us, so we set out to visit Santa today at 4 p.m. My daughter was super excited and couldn't wait to deliver her presents. So, just before 4 p.m., we arrived at the bar. I go inside to ask the lady who had made the promised arrangements. While I fit in fine, this bar isn't quite the place I frequent, so it took a few minutes to find the nice lady. After a short conversation, she told me to go get her daughter and bring her inside. She no longer felt the need to exclude our little one from the bar. As I headed out to the van to get everyone, the nice lady went to get Santa. Honestly, I wondered what kind of Santa would be presented. Would it be Barney from The Simpsons, a jolly old department store Santa? When we entered the bar, my daughter was greeted by a jolly old Santa, 3 very attractive elves, and everyone in the bar. The fact she was the sole focus of everyone's attention and caused a brief bout of shyness and tears, which ended. An elf relieved her of her presence, and Santa bent down to pick her up. Still feeling a bit shy, she snuggled in. I leaned to let her know it was okay. There was no booze on Santa's breath. And then the nice elf scooped her up. We sat down for a photo at the bar, while the nice lady we spoke with ran next door to make the location that they had previously used for organized Santa photos. After a few bar shots, we headed over to another location. As we did, Santa and the elves and several patrons joined in the parade. Did I mention the other place was an adjoining retail store owned by the bar, a place that sells sexy biker wear. Thankfully, the aforementioned biker wear had been pushed far aside, providing a clear path for Santa to the throne to complete with trees and pops. It only took 5 or 10 minutes total, but my daughter now has a lifetime of memories. Before we left, she and 2 of the elves had formed quite the connection, and she felt like Santa had come to visit her special. One of the elves even told my daughter there were 4 presents short, and the 4 my daughter had bought meant they had all the toys that they needed. As we drove away, I turned to my wife and asked if she noticed a theme developing. I wondered if last year's visit to the Tilted Kilt and today's visit to a cowboy biker bar and adjoining clothing store might have planted the seed for a very unhealthy relationship with Santa in the future. In my defense, this particular bar is always doing some sort of special event for fundraising for local families in need. And just yesterday, the same Santa and elves took 147 kids shopping for Christmas. This isn't just any old bar. I'm sure they made a positive impact on my daughter. I just hope the story she tells, she'll leave out most of the details. Well, thank you, Chris, for sharing that, and it just goes to show you that no matter what lifestyle you come from, that when the Christmas season comes and there's children around, we all become elves of Christmas. Well, we're going to close up the mailbag, and we'll be right back for more Christmas fun.
Hope I don't miss work this Christmas.
Yeah, how will you pay for things like food, electricity?
Oh, dental bills.
Gadzooks! You need a backup plan. That's why we have Affleck.
So I'll have cash to help pay bills.
Right, but what if you're still not better by Christmas?
Affleck, ask about it at work. Rudolph's better. But now Blitzen's sick.
Welcome back to Badger and Blade Radio, everybody, and our first annual Christmas Eve special. We hope you and your family are enjoying your Christmas Eve and all cozied up next to a nice warm fire and enjoying all the fun that the holidays bring. It's been a flurry of activities around here the last couple of hours. The last flight checks were made, and Santa departed to bring all that good gear to everybody from Badger and Blade just a couple of hours ago. So make sure that you're on santatracker.com to make sure that you can find out where he's at and make sure that you're in bed before he gets there. We've also been informed that we have a guest that just showed up to our little mock studio here, and we'd like to welcome Mrs. Santa Claus to Badger and Blade Radio.
Oh, hey everybody, it's so nice to be here with you. I finally got the big boy off on the sled, and I'm just sitting back with my feet up in the air and having a little cup of the eggnog, tequila eggnog this year. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, we see that all the elves are happy and they're jumping around. Have they been dipping into the tequila nog as well?
I think they celebrated when they got the sled loaded early and ready to go, and so yes, I think they're a little happy.
Well, that's good. Well, they deserve it. They've been working hard all year. Now, when interviewing you, we don't hear very much about behind the scenes. So what we'd like to do is we'd like to ask you a little bit of things. And what is it like being the spouse of the famed Santa Claus?
Well, it's he's such a jolly good fellow, and he's so sweet. It's so easy to be around him, but yeah, I do feel like I'm in his. Well, it's easy to be in his shadow a little bit because he's a big boy, but he's so sweet and kind and just always cheerful and happy and jolly. It's so nice to be with him.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's the kind of the picture that we all have of Santa Claus. And, all of us probably wonder, what is your lives like, you and Santa, between now and next Christmas when you start everything? What do you guys do for the rest of the year?
Okay, well, don't you know, probably the hardest part is keeping the little. We have cloud machines that kind of hide the North Pole, so nobody can see where we're at, and they can't get a little peek at their presents for the next year. And so we keep the cloud machines rolling, and that takes a lot of work. And the elves, they're always designing new toys, and then the reindeer proving grounds are out there, and so the reindeer have a lot of races, and they get better and better, hopefully, to get on the team.
Well, that's neat. Now, do you guys ever take any time off or go on vacation?
Yeah. Once a year, we always go down. We like to go down to the islands. We lay out in the hammock and have ourselves some tequila sunrises.
Really? So you guys go swimming? So Santa wears a swimsuit and everything else?
Oh yeah, he does, but he never wears red the rest of the year. He wears black when we go to the beach.
Oh, so people don't know who he is.
And it scares them away.
But don't they know?
His white legs.
But can't they kind of tell with his beard, or does he do something with his beard?
He braids it kind of. We go to the Bahamas, and he braids it, and then he tries to do the Bahama, that accent.
So he's kind of a Rasta Santa.
Yeah.
So he's kind of a Rasta Santa.
Don't worry, be happy.
Oh, so he's a Rasta Santa. Oh, so that keeps you guys incognito until you have to go back.
Everything's going to be all right.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's really good to know. Badger and Blade members, I don't think we knew that happened. Now, do you have any interesting stories about not only the reindeer that are currently in training to become part of Santa's team, but any of the older reindeer, such as Donner, Blitzen, and Rudolph? Any stories about the reindeer?
Well, I don't see it much, but if old history books will tell you that the reindeer were created. We used to have an old kind of mad scientist dude, and Vladimir, and he liked to play around with genetics, and so he was like breeding the unicorns and the reindeer together because reindeer don't fly.
Right.
And once he did that, we ended up with flying reindeer, and that's how we got lucky.
That's impressive. So how did you guys get to the point where they could fly without wings?
Well, because unicorns are magic.
Oh, so
like
it's
the magic of Christmas.
I see. So it's a unicorn hybrid.
We don't talk about it a whole lot now, but that's what it was.
That's interesting. Now, any other stories about the reindeer that you'd like to share? Because you would imagine they've become so famous that you would imagine that every once in a while they could get a little bit of an attitude. Is that true?
Oh, no. The reindeer, they're all sweethearts. Then just don't stand behind them when they take off.
Oh, I see. Now, obviously Rudolph, when he was younger, he went through a hard time with his nose because he is unique among all the reindeer. And I assume that his red nose was not caused by any of the genetic experiments that Vladimir was doing. But he was teased a lot by the team. Has he gotten over that and really melded in and gotten used to it?
I think the reindeer, Rudolph thinks now, like what it is, he was touched by an angel, and so he was given that nose for a reason. And if you think about it, we all have something that we deal with, right? And they all end up, serving us in a good way for some purpose. You don't always know it, but you just have to be happy with what you are, and you end up happy in the end.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, you had said earlier that Vladimir was doing genetic experiments to make the reindeer fly. Now, did he experiment on any other animals?
The rooster thing, that kind of got Vladimir into a little bit of trouble. Now we keep Vladimir in a little office in the back because he messed around with the roosters. He made the reindeer so they could fly, and he made the rooster so he couldn't fly.
So that must have meant for a lot of unhappy roosters.
They're not very nice when they can't fly.
Now, do they still have their normal cock-a-doodle-doo?
Well, they got the cock-a-doodle part, but they don't do anymore.
What do they do?
Well, they do.
Oh,
they
so
don't just do.
They don't just do, they do. Oh, okay. So a little bit they sound almost like Morse code when they're walking around.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I see. Now, so you said that you keep Vladimir locked in an office. How do you keep him from getting out?
We have him there. He has to go through the dentist's office first.
Oh, so Herbie's dentist's office.
Yeah, Herbie's. And so he doesn't like to go to the dentist, so he kind of stays in the office a lot.
Right. Is that why we saw the Bumble kind of hanging out? Does, obviously being the abominable snowman, does he kind of guard Vladimir from coming out?
Oh, yeah, but the Bumble stays right outside all of that. He guards that area all the time.
Oh, I see.
So he keeps the
I see. Now, one person we haven't talked to that we see every year, but not that often, is Yukon Cornelius. Does he come around very much anymore?
No. He took a sabbatical, and I haven't seen him in In a while.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fascinating. I mean, I'm sure this is stuff that we did not know, and I'm sure this is stuff that you weren't prepared to answer.
I think that.
But now here comes a question that everybody within Badger and Blade is interested in. And what is Santa Claus's favorite aftershave or cologne?
Oh, let me think about that one. He's I have to say the one thing he always seems to go back to is that lilac vegetal. I think it's just because he's an old soul.
And is there anything about the lilac vegetal that you either like or don't like?
Well, the only thing what I noticed is that after he tried it and used it, we got a lot of cats around, and I like the cats.
You like
so
the
it's
cats?
Good. Yeah, I love the kitties. You've seen all the Christmas cats.
Oh yeah, I saw in fact, they were all over the place when we got here this morning. But you think that's the reason, because of the lilac vegetal that he wears all the time, that the cats showed up?
I'm not sure, but there seems to be a parallel.
I see. Now, there's also been rumors that he has got a fondness for bus stations and the bathrooms of the bus stations. Could that be because of the lilac vegetal as well?
Who's Santa?
Uh-huh.
I think he leaves some of it there. So the guys have stuff.
So he's spreading cheer all the time.
Oh yeah, because it's a good thing.
That's neat. That's fantastic. Now, Santa always claims to be in charge of the elves. That's what we see on TV and in the movies. But who is really in charge of the thousands and thousands of elves that you guys employ?
So, Santa can't do it all the time because he likes the deer too. So we have a mage elf that's in charge of all of the little elves.
Did you say a mage elf?
Yeah.
And what is his name?
Elven Mage.
Elven Mage. Okay, now is he also the one that we saw on TV that Herbie was having trouble with as the boss?
He's the one with the beard. Yeah, that's
okay.
him. He's really a sweetheart. He has a worse bark than his bite.
Oh, I see. Now, so we obviously noticed that Herbie has his dentist office now. So they've worked out that little situation where it's okay for him to be a dentist for all the elves.
Oh yeah, because they all need help.
Oh, I see.
Everyone needs dental work.
Oh, that's fantastic. So it seems like everything between you and Santa and up here at the North Pole is just literally almost like Christmas year round, correct?
Oh yeah. It's always like Christmas except for that vacation week.
Except for when you go to Hawaii or the Bahamas, rather, I should say. Yes, and he becomes Rasta Santa.
Rasta Santafarian.
Right. Rasta Santafarian. Okay, that's good to know. Now, as we close out this interview, because I know you're busy, I know you're tired, and you'd probably like to go spend some time with the elves and have a little bit more tequila nog, what are some final thoughts that you would like to say to the boys and girls and the members of Badger and Blade?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, I was looking at Santa's list and I saw a lot of Badger and Blade members on there. So I know that he's going to be stopping for a lot of Badger and Blade people. And he had very, very good remarks on there for the people. And but for me, I would like to say thank you all for being such good-hearted souls. And I hope that you have a very warm and cozy and happy holiday and a healthy new year coming up in 2017.
Well, thank you so much, Mrs. Claus. It's been an honor for me to actually spend time with you and to get to know a little bit behind the scenes and everything else. So we as well want to wish you, the elves, the reindeer, the chickens, the cats, and even Vladimir a very, very Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Very, very Merry Christmas too. Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it, Badger and Blade, our exclusive interview with Mrs. Santa Claus. We'll continue the show right after these messages.
Well, way up north where the air gets cold, there's a tale about Christmas that you've all been told. And a real famous cat all red, and he spends the whole year working on his sled. It's the little Saint Christmas comes this time.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through Badger and Blade, no shave gear was stirring, not razors nor cade. The shave dens were quiet, awaiting new goods, in hopes that Santa would be bringing new gear, of course, as he should. The soaps, aftershaves, and brushes were all put away as tight as a drum, with the hopes of new goodies, including bay rum. Mama in her PJs and I in a gruff had just settled in to search the vendor forum for more stuff. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the impression of lather with whiskers to mow, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a dude riding a badger and 8 stewards dressed as reindeer. With a little old rider that looked like a grouch, I knew in a moment that it must be Ouch. More rapid than stropping his stewards they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Grey Dog, now Alpster, now Keen Dog and Marco, on Price, on Hirsuti, on Texla and Sivargo. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now shave away, shave away, shave away all. As the paper lacks when the nib ink has gone dry, when they meet with an obstacle, the rhodia does fly. So up to the housetop the stewards did crawl, with a badger in gear, oh, what a haul. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the dropping of razor blades, I hope they're rust-proof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney came Ouch with a huge bound. He was dressed in fine haberdashery from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tailored, his Alden shoes covered in soot. A bundle of accoutrements he had flung on his back, he looked like a contributor, and I wanted the gillettes he had in his sack. His eyes how blue, his face so smooth, his cheeks were like glass, but he smelled of oud. His droll little mouth smelled of single malt scotch. A straight shave mistake had given his jawline a notch. The stump of a Savinelli he had held in his teeth, and the wonderful aroma of burley encircled him like a wreath. He had a broad-faced and a taco-stained beard. Santa Ouch eating tacos, the salsa was smeared. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old shaving elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and the loading from soap pucks soon gave me to know Badger and Blade has cost me some bucks. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying a finger on his finest of razors, and giving a nod, now he smelled of skin bracer. He sprang to his badger, to his team he gave a whistle, and I thought that badger hair would make for a good brush bristle. I heard him exclaim as he sauntered out of sight, "Merry Christmas, Badger and Blade, and to all a good night." Finally, tonight, we'd just like to remind everybody that if you are still tracking Santa, you can do so at noradsanta.org. You can find out where exactly he is in his flight path. That way, if you need to rush to bed before he gets there, you can do so. Also, we'd like to thank, as always, our moderators and stewards for the hard work they do each and every day. We'd like to thank the owners and administrators for giving us this wonderful site to spend time on. And most importantly, we'd like to thank you, the members of BadgerandBlade.com. You are the lifeblood of this forum, and we appreciate you supporting and being a part of our membership. And finally, tonight, a little personal note. Sharon and I would like to wish everyone, as well as the entire family of Badger and Blade, a safe and happy holiday and a prosperous new year. We'll see you after the first of the year. I'm Skyside from Badger and Blade Radio, and have a very, very Merry Christmas. Good night.